Hi ladies, as we mature and things move south on us, it gets a little more difficult learning the proper way to contour and blush and highlight. So if you'd like to learn how to do that properly, then just keep watching. So when we talk about contouring, what we are going to accomplish is darkness goes back and lightness brings those areas forward. So anything we highlight is going to come forward, anything that we darken is going to go back. So the first thing we want to do is look at the shape of your face and determine what areas you want to darken so that we can first go into those areas and make them recede. So those are the areas that you normally contour, such as under your cheekbones, your jawline, the sides of your nose. If you have a larger forehead that you want to kind of help bring down a little bit, you can do that. I have a thyroid issue, so my thyroid is always enlarged, so I contour along my neck just to kind of give it a shape there so it's just not so wide all the time. So just depending on what you need to contour, you need to really take a good look at your face in the mirror with nothing but maybe foundation on, so you can determine what it is that you want to bring forward and what you want to recede. So when it comes to contours, you can get, something like this, the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. But what you find is that you use maybe certain colors out of this, and not all of them. So you can spend a lot of money on something like this, but not use all the shades. So this is one I don't use so much anymore. There's smaller ones, like this is one I'm using now that has a blend of the, you've got the contour, a blush, and a highlight. Well, I'm not using the highlight, I'm not using the blush, but I am using the contour. So this is less expensive because it's a drugstore product. But again, I'm not using these two items, so again, that's a waste. The next one is another one that I really like. It's got a good mixture of them, but again, I'm not using a lot of these products, but it's a lot less expensive because, again, it's the drugstore product. Physicians Formula makes the bronze booster. So again, this has different shades in it. The one thing you want to be careful of is you also want to find the correct undertone for your skin color. Some of these will have a grayish tone to them. Some will have different shades of browns. Some will have an orange tint to them. So you really want to find the right color that's going to look good with your skin tone. So that's another little adventure that you get to go on. This is one that is by Catrice. This one's kind of nice because you get just the contour and then just a little highlighter in it as well. Highlighter is okay. It's not a bad highlighter, so that one I kind of liked, but the color was just a little bit off for me. And then there's the Too Faced. These are actually bronzers and a foundation, but those are also good things to try because depending on the color of the products, sometimes these can work for contouring as well. So again, just depending on the colors that you get. So sometimes these can work for your skin tone as well. So that's the fun part, is finding the right ones that will work for you. So today I am going to work with the Master Contour by Maybelline. Then we want to find the right tools that are going to work for your face. So these are some of the ones that I like to work with, depending on the area of my face. So have I totally confused you? Again, this is going to come down to a preference. Remember, just because a brush says that's what it is a contouring brush, doesn't mean that's what you have to use it for. I like to use this for contouring in this area because it does such a good job of buffing it out. I can also use this sharp edge. This, by the way, this is my Morphe MD4 brush. I can use this to go into my jawline. And then for my nose, I use this Morphe, it's the gold brush. It's a lot thinner than, for example, the e.l.f. brushes. You can see how thick that is, and a lot thinner too. So I have a lot more control. This is also another good one, the e.l.f. brush, to go in along here. Oops, like there's obviously still product on there. But I like this one because it gives me a lot more control to go along my nose. So there's these flat ones. I don't know where I got this from. That will go in there as well. So just anything that you find that works for you. Whatever works for you, use it. So you don't need to have any specialty type brushes, just whatever works for you. So for today's purposes, I'm going to take my Morphe brush. I'm going to put a little bit more on the end, tap off any extra. Whenever you're doing this for the first time, go in with a very light hand. When you're using a new product or even a new brush, you don't know how much of that is going to pick up on the brush and then lay down on your face. So it's better to layer than to get too much product in and then having to try and blend it out. So when you're doing your hollows of your cheek, the first thing you want to do is that fish face. You will get, after we've been doing this for a while, the idea of where you want to go in and do it. So do your fish face, and you will see where you want to go. I know where to go, and I don't come all the way down. I basically come down to about the corner of my eye, and I don't go any further than that. And then I just try and keep a sharp line right there. Now, if I don't keep that sharp line, I have a way to fix that. I'll show you how to do that as well. So see how I've kept that right in there? And if I look at you straight on, see how that has narrowed that part of my face compared to this side. And actually, let me just contour this side of my face, and then we'll come back and do that side. So while I still have this brush out, what I want to do now is I want to come into this part. And I want to hide this part of my jaw and make it look like I have a jaw instead of this continual neck that I have. So very lightly, I'm just drawing a little shadow there. And I'm buffing it out as I go. I don't want a sharp line. And then because, again, I want to create a thinner neck, I do the same thing going down here. Now, I'm not going to be done here because I'm going to actually put bronzer in this area as well. So it looks a little stark right now, but once we go in with the bronzer, it's going to look better. Now I'm going to take my Morphe brush, and what I'm going to do is just take the one edge here, and I'm going to tap that right on there and tap any extra off. This is where you really want to go in with a light hand so you don't have too much product on. Now this side of my nose, I have a deviated septum, and it doesn't show up until I try and do that straight line. So this is where I have a very hard time. I don't bring mine all of the way up. I start about midway down and just draw the line. I find it works better if I do that. Straighten out my nose. Now, some people, if you want to put a little bit on the end, you can do that. And instead of leaving that harsh line, now what I do is So I'll take that brush and just kind of gently brush it down. And buff it out. So I've contoured here, contoured under here, and I've contoured my nose. I do not need to contour my forehead at all because I don't have a long forehead. I could go in and contour along here, but I don't need to. I will go in with my bronzer and do that, so that's our next step. When it comes to bronzers, we have many different types we can use. I used to use the Essence Sun Club, very inexpensive, wonderful product. This used to have a palm tree on it, but not showing up so much anymore. And this smells like chocolate too, and this is probably just a few bucks at the drugstore. I've been loving the Butter Bronzer. Can't talk enough about this. This one has a very subtle glow to it as well. So I really like that for the summertime. This you want to go in with a big brush to use, and that way it really dispenses the product. I've been liking my Luxie 518 brush for this, but any type of a big fluffy type brush will work for that. So just anything that's big and fluffy, so it just dispenses the product all over the place. And you really want to swirl in there and get a lot of the product all over the brush, tap out again. Again, we're going to stay up above the contour and swirl. And swirl. And mix and blend. Same thing. We're staying past this, my eye. I don't want to bring it down to my cheek area because that's where I'm going to go in with my blush. And now I want to take it up my forehead into my hairline. I just want to look like I got kissed by the sun. And basically what I want to do is I want to make a C shape here. So that's all I did there. And then down on my neck, I'm going to go into that area and stay within my lines. I contoured there. So, kind of sort of went a little bit overboard right there, so that is an area we're going to go in and fix. So you can see it's starting to come together. I've got my darkness coming in here, which I'm going to go in, lighten up, and highlight now. But compared to this side of my face, see a difference? We're starting to slim down. Now we're going to give it that pop of color. Let's look at blushes. You ready for this? I have a lot of blushes, so I'm going to go through them really quickly, just to give you an idea of the types of things that are out there. This is one that's been discontinued, but this is by Tarte. I love this one because it's just got a great selection of colors in there. So these are all matte shades. It's just got everything. They're wonderful. They're highly pigmented. A little bit goes a long way. I've got a great selection of drugstore ones. Let's see what I got here. So I've got some of the Wet n Wild color icon ones. These are fabulous. If you see these, pick them up. If you have not tried them before, they are just great. I've got some of the Ulta ones. I haven't honestly tried them yet, so I need to. I have a Palladia one that I just love. This is in the color Peach Eyes. It is just so natural looking and blendable. I have NYX. I have LA Girl Just Blushing, which is another stunning color. I have the Urban Decay Naked Flush palette. Oh, that's one I should have showed too, because it does also have a contour one inside. I have a Becca one, which is just beautiful. It's got 3 shades in there. I have Maybelline Fit Me. This is one I put together with the Shop Missy color board palette. So these are just a few of the ones I picked up from them. They are very pigmented. I will tell you, they're very inexpensive. I think they're like $3 or $3.50 each, but go in with a very light hand on these because they just will like go on. They blend out really well, but trust me, they are very, very pigmented. Here's a couple more Ulta ones that I have. Here's Kat Von D. This is a dual color one. We've got shade, oh, it's the shade light one. And then I've got some Too Faced. Oh, these are highlighters actually. That's in the wrong drawer. Sorry, those are highlighters. That little one. I've got a bunch more. So anyway, those are just some of the ones I have. But today, I'm going to go with my Becca one. And I'm going to use this shade right here. And I'm going to use my Lexi brush. And that is the 520 taper brush. So, what I'm going to do is go in, just grab a little bit, and smile. So what we want to do is find the apples of our cheeks. And I like this brush because it's got the pointed tip where I can go in on the apples of my cheeks and just lightly take that. And then get a swirling motion going. As I'm swirling, go up. I'm going to take that all the way back to my hairline. I want to follow along that same line that I'm keeping there. Now, if I wanted to give it a different bit of a look, you can go in with a second color. So I've just lightly tapped into this one here. And just right here, you take a second color. Because when you blush, you don't blush in just one color. You blush in multiple shades of red and pink. So sometimes just having a second color in there gives it more of a natural shade. Then what I like to do is I like to take a clean, big, fluffy brush and just in circular motions blend everything that we've done in together. Keep it above that line. Just blend it off. Let's take it down a notch. Let's keep it together. And there. Now, I mentioned there's a way that we can clean up this line here, because you can see it kind of went down a little bit. What we're going to do is go into a setting powder. It can be any one that you have. I just have my Cover FX in front of me, so I'm going to use that. And I'm going to take one of my sponges, and I'm going to lightly, I'm going to load up my sponge with this. And I'm going to go right along here, drawing a line all the way to my lip. I didn't get enough. See how I've drawn a line there? I'm going to let that sit for about 30 seconds or so. And then come back and just wipe that off. So while that is setting, let's go on to highlighters. Okay, let's go ahead and gently wipe this powder off. Just going to take it off. Alright, let's go in with some highlighter. I'm going to be using my Smashbox Spotlight palette in the Pearl one, and I will be using the shade Turn It On Pearl, which is this lightest one right here. So let's try out this brush and see how that works. Now I like to take it just on the higher parts of my cheek. Oh, that does work really well. Whoa. That's giving me a much stronger highlight than I normally get. And then I take it on just the tip of my nose, lightly just up to the bridge of my nose. Now, since I am a mature woman, I don't like to do the very bright highlights all over my face like some of the younger gals will do. So I don't do the upper lip, I don't do the temples, all that type of things. That's really strong. I don't normally get that strong of a highlight with my brush, so let's see if we buff that out a little bit. More than I normally care for. That is the difference a brush can make. Still strong. Alright, let me do the other side of my face, but for now, let's just take a quick look straight on. You can see the difference that doing contouring and highlight can do from one side of the face to the other. I kind of sit straight up for you here. So, as you can see, what we have is that we have contoured in here and along there. Oh, the other thing I wanted to do is lightly, so I'm not going to add any other product. I'm going to highlight down here on my neck because I want to bring that forward. Okay, so contoured, contoured, and contoured. We have brought a little bit of a sun kiss along here and down there, and we have brought a little bit of a blush in this area, and we've highlighted here and just at the tip of the nose. So that is how you contour. Again, depending on your face shape, I'm going to insert an image right here now, that is going to show you different face shapes and how you would want to contour depending on your face shape. I'll let that stay up there for a few seconds so you can take a look at that and see what's going to work for your face shape. Go ahead and pause it if you need to, but hopefully that will be helpful for you as well. So, alright, here is the final look to my makeup. Yes, the eyes are a little dramatic, but that's because I am going out to dinner tonight, so we're a little bit overboard on that. But with the contour, I really like how that turned out. You can see now that I have completed everything. We'll start with the bottom, work our way up. So the neck is now a little slimmer looking compared to what it was before. I have a little shadow going on here, which slims that down. I have slimmed my face down right in here. Sorry, I'm looking at my monitor. I shouldn't do that. So I slimmed it right in here, which helps bring my cheekbones out, especially with the highlight that I've got going here. My nose now has a shadow on the side, which has slimmed that down. I kind of took away the bottom of this. I don't have a nose that kind of hangs down long, so I don't need to add that. If your nose is in need of kind of ending it a little bit short, you can highlight underneath it, and then you can also add a little line across the top. That'll give you the appearance of having a little bit of a button nose. So I don't need to do that, but if that's something you want to go ahead and do, you can definitely do that. And then again, if you need to contour around your forehead to kind of bring that down a little bit, you can definitely do that, but I just went in with the bronzer. So this is the finished look. Got the highlight going on, which has brought out my cheekbones, and then again along the bridge of my nose as well. So I'm very pleased with the look. I also went in with a little highlighter right underneath my eyebrows to make them pop a little bit as well. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to subscribe if you have not already. And if you've enjoyed the video, please give it the old thumbs up. Feel free to leave any comments, questions, anything like that. I'd love to hear from you guys what you would like me to do videos on. So please leave me some suggestions as well. That way I can go ahead and take those into considerations when I am filming my videos. So thanks so much. Love you guys. And until next time, bye-bye.